right, we have Howard Cheuvront at his graduation. And after his graduation, he took a job with the government on an Indian reservation in Arizona. And that's one of the Indians working at the reservation. Dad took a lot of footage of road work and stuff around there that I deleted. Aunt Hig and Uncle Howard and one of the hands there. Howard taught and Aunt Hig did the cooking and all of that stuff there. So they were busy working there during that time. That slide, my Aunt Hig went down and broke her tailbone. Had trouble with that all the rest of her life. And I don't know if that was, I guess that was Hig riding the bicycle. Family gathering at Grandpa Michael's, and that would be Uncle Bob, and that would be Grandpa Michael. Keith Wyatt and Jerry Broyles, and I believe that's Mary Hines. I don't know what she was on crutches about at that time. Kids playing on a wheelbarrow. Uncle Bob giving Mary a hard time. And that is Grandma Michael and Grandpa. Grandma was a good cook. Oh boy. Some of the Grimm family and the Michael family have gathered at the cabin for a picnic outing. Some of the people I don't know coming out the door there. But there's Mom and Ed and cousin Shirley Cheuvront and Hig and Grandma Michael. And there's Shirley with cousin Ron, her little brother. Grandpa Michael and Grandpa Grimm are there in that crowd. And some of the rest of the family. And that's pretty much what I know about that. We won't. This shows us making hay at Grandpa's farm. But the interesting thing that I can share is that one summer, Ed worked over there with them, got into a hornet's nest, and had to make an emergency run back over to Kirksville to have Dad take care of him a little bit. Other than that, it's kind of interesting to see some of the old haying equipment that they used at that time. Aunt Hig and Shirley and Ron coming down the stairs. I don't know if they're getting ready to leave or just, yep, she waved. But then we have to get them again coming out the front door. And Ron and George somehow need to roll the pieces of wood. Okay, we got Grandpa with David, I believe. Mom and Ed behind. Jerry Broyles, Jack Nichols. Mom. Oh my, lots of folks. There's Grandpa with, I think, George and David on Franklin D, the horse. And Franklin D later was given to Ed riding there. Named after Franklin D. Roosevelt, of course. Grandpa, Grandma, George next to the food, of course. Okay, that's Evelyn, mother of Joe Lauren and Max, and that would be Jerry Broyles, Bobby Broyles, Joe Lauren, Grandpa, and they would be playing a game called Pitch. That is Max, Michael, Jerry Broyles, with a girlfriend, I think, and Joe Lauren, Bobby Broyles, Grandma, Evelyn, and Grandpa. And there is a decent spread. David, I believe Mom and Dad took Grandpa and Grandma Michael to Phoenix somewhere around 42. First time they were out there since Hig and Howard moved into Phoenix. So there's Grandpa and Grandma and Uncle Howard and Mom. View from some lookout point. And now we're nearing Sunset Ranch, they named it, that Howard bought when they moved in. Now Phoenix is way, way beyond all of this and completely built in. So. Turning into the ranch. Gripe, Arizona, Grandpa bought honey, and guess what? Department of Agriculture in New Mexico took it away from him on the way back. Not a happy camper about that. Not sure the location of this, somewhere in the Phoenix area, park or botanical garden of some sort that they visited. Uncle Howard and Ron on horses, heading out for a ride. Uncle Howard doing some adjustment on the roof there. And that's Shirley coming in their, I think, vintage 40 Mercury coupe. And I think Mom got bit by something there. Grandpa and Howard, and Shirley. Grandma, Aunt Hig, and Mom. Howard coming in on the horse again. Shirley's off to somewhere. Ron, and I think that was a litter mate to our Boots. That dog had been given to them by Grandpa. Oh, ow! Don't know if Ron got a bloody nose from that or not. The fruit trees, nothing like fresh fruit. So we spent a few days on this trip with Aunt and Uncle Cheuvront in Phoenix. By now he has built his home there. Still have the ranch part that they rented out at that time. Hard and Hig, I think, there. And he built 2 or 3 homes at that time and rented the other 2. There's Ed and Mom and Hig coming out of the house, and Howard was a heavy smoker, paid for that years later with cancer. Then we made a visit up to part of the Salt River irrigation project, one of the dams, and had some fun swimming and eating out. And we take a look at Sky Harbor Airport in the early days, which wasn't much at that time. Uncle Bob Broyles raised watermelons, really good ones, and had a kind of an annual family gathering for that thing. And this is one we made. So there's some of the family there and some that I don't know. There's Grandma Nichols. And me. Grandma Michael. Grandpa. I believe that's Jean Wyatt. Mom. Don't know the little girl. Jerry Broyles. Sometimes we got 2 Christmases, and this is one at the Michael farm. There's Max Michael and me and Evelyn, Ed, back to Max, Grandpa, David, Joe Lorne, Evelyn, Grandma. A little gift distribution there. Brother Ed going out for a ride on his Harley Davidson down through the valley and up the hill towards the church. And there's Mom and Uncle Bob, Grandma Michael, Mary. Shouldn't have sat there. And they decided to seine the pond to see what was in it. So the boys got out there and waded in the water and had lots of encouragement from the folks on the shore, watching to see what they were going to find. And the suspense is mounting as we approach the end of the seine job. And guess what? Goose egg. That would be Grandma Nichols. Now we're lighting a fireworks there. This happens to be the 4th of July. And a lot of the family has gathered for fireworks. And that's Ron Cheuvront in the swing. Mary. We're going to a funeral which was at the chapel just across the hill. We were advised under penalty of death not shoot any fireworks during the funeral. Okay, there's Mom, Grandma, Aunt Hig, Shirley, and Virgie, who is Max Michael's wife. And there is Virgie again, and Shirley Cheuvront, and Aunt Hig, and Grandma, and Mom,